Hello, my name's Alan Kirby and I'm one of the artists involved in the False Memory exhibition. My work looks at memory and how scientists and philosophers think about memory and how they work out how memory influences who we are. I also look at what memory means in real life by working with people living with dementia. The pictures and sculptures that I make are often made using cameraless photography. In this video, I'll tell you a little bit about cameraless photography, how to make your cameraless photograph, and then I'll tell you about the work that I've made for this exhibition. The cyanotype was invented in 1842 by Sir John Herschel. This is him. And the cyanotype was first really used by a lady called Anna Atkins, who took pictures of seaweeds and lichens all around the UK. She was the first female photographer and the first person to make a photo book, all using cyanotypes. This is one of Anna Atkins' images of a seaweed. It was made over 175 years ago and looks the same today as the day it was made. You can find all Anna Atkins' images online if you search her collection at the British Library. Cyanotypes are made with two chemicals, ferric ammonium citrate and potassium ferricyanide. They sound like deadly poisons, but if you don't eat them or rub them in your eyes, you'll be fine. Each chemical is dissolved in water, and when the two are mixed together, they become sensitive to ultraviolet light. Ultraviolet is the part of sunlight that gives us sunburn, and this means that I do all of my pictures and make my photos outside in the sun. Our mixed solution is now ready to coat onto paper. So here I'm coating a piece of watercolour paper. You can also use the chemicals to coat fabrics, such as cotton or linen, and even wood and other natural fibres. Once your material is coated, all you have to do is leave it to dry and it's ready to use. So now we're ready to make our photograph. Photograph just means drawing with light. So we can make ours without a camera, just by putting the objects that we want to make a picture of onto the paper and popping it out into the sun for a few minutes. This is the image after it's come in from the sun. Because it doesn't look blue and white yet, for that we have to develop it. All we do now is to wash in water. You can see we get a negative image. Where the light hits the chemical, it creates a permanent blue, and where the object blocks the sun, it stays white. So now we know what a cyanotype is, and how to make one. I'm going to tell you a little bit how I use this technique, together with origami, as an analogy for human memory and the way it records experience. This is an origami shell folded from cyanotype coated paper, and it's been a shell for several weeks. Its experiences, its form, position, sun exposure, handling and so on, affect the final image. So when we open it and develop it, what we see is a visual memory of those unique experiences. No two shells will give the same image because their experiences will have been different. The inspiration for my piece for the False Memory exhibition came from reading about how our brains reconstruct our memories every time we try and remember them. So each time we remember a specific experience, it's subtly different. I'd been working in the studio making lots of pieces in tissue paper, so I'd been coating the paper and trimming away the ragged, brushed edges. I had a pile of these trimmings left in the corner of the studio, and I kind of remembered them and decided to make an image using these forgotten pieces. So I made an image using all these offcuts, a reconstructed memory of all that preparation. I did it by taking them and overlaying them onto prepared paper and then exposing the final collage to sunlight. Once the first image was complete, I made a second image using the same offcuts, another reconstruction using the same fragments of memory. And after that, I made a third, and you can see the results of these in the triptych, that's part of this exhibition. Here are some of the details of the triptychs. By overlaying the fragments one on top of the other, you can get very subtle changes in texture and colour throughout the picture. We can see images in these abstract fragments, and those again come from our own memories. So what we see is unique to us. The forms that come out of the picture are dependent on the memories that we have inside us that make us who we are. And so here it is, the final triptych, a reconstructed memory. I wonder what images each of us sees in these forms, what our own memories bring to our understanding of these pictures. And so that's it. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about cyanotypes and memory. I'd just like to thank Sarah Holdaway and everybody else who's involved in the False Memory exhibition, and I look forward to seeing you there in person soon.